Okay, so we started recording. So good evening everyone. We've lost 20 minutes already, so let's start right away, please. So let's talk about global and local scope. Yeah. So okay, so yesterday we started talking about function and we discussed what a function is, why we need a function, and we talked about functions with parameter and argument, blah blah blah. So today we'll be talking about local scope and global scope. So what is local scope and what is global scope? So basically local scope is when you kind of like have a function and the variables that you declared, yeah, the access level of that function cannot be accessible by any other function or any other person except inside that function. Take for instance now, I have a function, let's say day2. Okay, yeah, this is a function, right? So now if I say let Malik equals to Sunday, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so now
Yes, sir.
I have a function and let me have another variable here. Let's say Mukhtar equals Monday. So now this Mukhtar that I declared outside is a global scope, and this Malik that is declared inside the function is a local scope. Yeah. So if I want to have access, like I now come outside this function now and I said I want to like access Malik now, I will not be able to access Malik because Malik is a local scope to this function. It can only be accessible in this function. Why Mukhtar can be accessible inside this function and outside the function. That's what makes it a global. So when you declare a variable or anything to be a global, it's accessible in the code bit by anybody. Anybody can use it. But when is a local is a local scope, that's within a function, then it's only accessible in that function. That makes it a local scope. This is a global scope. Yeah. And then this is local. So the question that you guys might want to ask is that, okay, why will I want to display something local? I can just make everything global, then I have access to the variable. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. There are some values that you want to like make accessible. Take for instance now, let's say we have we have we have a function Abuja, then I have another function, Lagos, and I have another function, let's say PH. Yeah. So now, then we have this let's say the general tax that is applicable to everybody. Let's say const VAT equals to 7.5. Yeah, because the general VAT that we are paying all over the federation, let's say it's 7.5. But when you're in Abuja, there is this special tax that you are paying that does not concern those in Lagos or in Port Harcourt. So you don't want to make it global. You don't want to say, okay, I want to come here and say constant local tax equals to 5. Yeah. So this local tax now, probably let's say the local tax now is being deducted to like fix some things locally. Let's say maybe the gutters and what have you. But then if you are paying it in Abuja, I'm not staying in Abuja. Why do you want me to pay those local tax? Yeah. So those local tax now should be for those, let's say for those in Abuja. So it does not concern those in Lagos and Port Harcourt. Yeah. So now that local tax, now you want to make sure that it's inside Abuja function. So it's only those in Abuja now that will have access to that local tax. Yeah. And if you want to like declare another one, you can say, okay, local tax Lagos equals to 2.5. Yeah. In Port Harcourt, it might be 10.5. So do we get the concept now? So this VAT now, if I say I want, okay, let's now say my Abuja tax equals to VAT plus local, let me say local tax Abuja. So I can just say local tax Abuja. Yeah. So for my Lagos tax will now be equals to my VAT plus local tax Lagos. Then here I can say local tax PH plus VAT. And I change this one to my PH tax. Yeah. So we'll get the concept now. So if I console log all this now, let me console console.log Lagos. Oh, sorry. Abuja. Then my Abuja tax. This is Lagos. My Lagos tax. Then PH. My PH tax. So let me call the function here. Abuja. Lagos. Hope you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I'll be asking at interval because of this network. So let's go to our console now. You can see my Abuja tax is 12.5. My Lagos tax is 10. My PH tax is 18. So now let's try and like, okay, I want to have access to my let's say this local tax in Lagos now. I want to now have access to it in Abuja. Let's see the error that we'll get. Can we see? On court reference, local tax is not defined. Why is local tax Lagos not defined? Line 309. Let's go to 309. Where is 309? You can see here. Because this Lagos tax now, local tax Lagos now, it is declared inside Lagos, which because it's a local is a local scope there in Lagos. So it's only available to Lagos function. So any other person can have access to it. Yeah. We saw that the VAT that was declared outside here, Abuja has access to it, Lagos has access to it, even PH also. Yeah. Then we have local taxes that everybody can pay if you are staying in that city. Yeah, so we have that of Abuja, that of Lagos, and that of Port Harcourt. But if Lagos now want to access that of Abuja, the local scope, you will not be able to access it. So that's one of the use case. So there are sometimes that you just want to have a local a local scope variable, and you don't want any other person to have access to it except that function. Yeah, so that's the use of local and global scope. Hope we got that concept of local and global scope. So the next one is going to be, any question at this point, so that we'll move as fast as possible. Yeah, are we okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, okay, that's good. So the next one
I'm
is
not okay with that though. I'm sorry. I didn't get that. Like I didn't get both the local and the global scope. Sorry.
oh,
Can you
oh,
repeat that again?
yeah. So basically what it means is that when you have a function, yeah, when you declare a variable globally, it is accessible anywhere in your code base. You can access it anywhere. So we declared a global variable here, vat, that is accessible inside this function, is accessible inside this function, and it's also accessible inside this function. So anywhere you can call it, I can come here now and call it. I can do anything. I can declare another variable, reassign it. I will have access to it. That's global. So it's just like satellite that is up in space. Yeah. So once you launch a satellite in space, because the satellite is like beaming signal to Earth, yeah, the signal is going to be available to virtually everybody on the surface of the Earth because it's global, it's out there in the space. Yeah. But if I have a Wi-Fi in my house, yeah, it's going to be only available to those people around me. Yeah, those people probably inside my building. Yeah, if I have a Wi-Fi in Abuja, those in Lagos will not have access to it. Yeah, because it's local to me. It's just within my scope, within my own surrounding. But if you are talking about like a satellite that is up there in sky, yeah, it's going to be available to everybody because it's global. So that's just the basic difference between it. So if you declare a variable globally, it will be available to everybody. Everybody can use it. Yeah. So we started an example. This vat now we declared it outside. Yeah, outside a function. Yeah, so you have access to it, but this particular one that we declared inside a function is a local scope. Yeah, so nobody will have nobody will have access to this local one except you want to use it inside that function. Yeah, so that's the main difference between local and global scope. Hope you get the concept now. So one
Why
is,
why 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 is the global scope not in a function declaration, or that is how it should be?
yeah, that's it. You can't put it in a function. Yeah, except you want to start using it in a function and be calling that function as global. Take for instance now, I have I have I declared a function now. Let's say function. I want to make it vat calc. Then I have this, and I have this. Then I move my vat inside. So what I did basically is just to make this vat a reusable component. Yeah, so this function now everybody can have access to it because it's more of like a global. It's so now it's going to return this vat. So you want to have this value of vat, then return this vat. So what would just be there is just to make the vat a reusable component. So it's still the same thing. But then what we're trying to like talk say is that in terms of variable, you don't have to like put it inside a function. Just leave it outside. then it's going to be a, or what's it called, a global variable. But then if you want to like put it in a function so that you can reuse it anywhere, just call a function and the vat is just available for you, fine. But then we are talking about in terms of variable. So when you declare it outside a function, it's global. You have access to it anywhere in your code base. But when you declare it inside a function, it becomes local. It's only available inside that inside that function. That make it local scope. Yeah. So
Sorry. So
yeah,
can we
okay.
say that everything inside a function is a local scope? Like everything the
Everything inside the function, yes, is a local scope to that
uh,
particular function.
oh, all
You
right.
understand? But then it doesn't mean that you cannot do something like you created a a global variable. Let's say let empty equals to 0. Yeah. So I can change the value of empty inside this local scope, and now say okay, let's empty here equals to 1. Yeah. So now I've reassigned the value of empty here, but we are still making reference to what's it called, to the global one. So now inside this Abuja function, now I made empty equals to 1. Yeah. So if I should call this function Abuja first now, but if Lagos wants to access the value of empty, is going to be 1 here. But everything you have inside the function is going to be local to that function, except you make reference to other things that are outside. So maybe as we go down the line, you understand it more. But just get the concept that anything you declared outside is going to be global. Then anything you declared inside a function is going to be local to that function alone. So it's from that function that you have access to that particular variable. And if you want every other person to have access to that variable, you have to make it global so that every other person can have access to it. Yeah. So the next one is return keyword. Okay, I mentioned this yesterday, and I think I've used it today also. A function will always want to return something. Like whenever you have a function, you must return something. Okay, take for instance now, we declared 3 functions here: Abuja, Lagos, and PH. But we are not returning anything. We are just doing some basic calculation just to calculate the tags, and then we are sending into console. Yeah. But for a function will always want to return something. And that return keyword is whenever you call that function, that is the answer that you will get. When yesterday, when I just mentioned the word return, but we don't really use it. When I called a function, the value that was being returned is giving me undefined. That's because we didn't return anything. Yeah. So now, so anytime you declare a function, you always want a function to do something for you, and in return, you are expecting an answer. So for you to like get that answer from a function, you must use the return keyword. Yeah. So let's always have it at the back of our mind that anytime we declare a function, it's not a must that you must return something. Yeah. So we've not been returning anything, but we are like doing our basic calculation. We are displaying one or two things on the console. But yeah, but the application that we'll be building in the nearest future are not going to like people are not going to be coming to the console to come and check what they are doing. They're probably interacting with the page itself, not the console. Yeah. So now with a function, have it at the back of your mind that a function will always return something. Will always want to return something. So you must return something. It's not a must for you to return. Yeah, you can just do your basic calculation and say, okay, calculate my tax, and probably you don't want to reuse the value. But for a function, you must return something so that you can always get the value. So in this situation, I will use the word return, then my Abuja tax. So in this situation now, return return my Lagos tax, and the last one is return my PH tax. So we can just remove all this console log, remove this, remove this. So yeah. So now if I say console.log, the reason why we are putting control so that we can always see the outcome of what we are doing. This is Lagos. This is Port Harcourt. Abuja. Lagos. PH. So we can see that these functions now, yeah, they are returning this value, this value, this value. So we're trying to like console log the answer. We can see that it's not different from what we have before. Yeah, but now anytime you call this function now, instead of telling the function to like console log something for you, no, we want to return a particular value from that function. So now anytime I call this function now anywhere, I know that I'll be expecting a value. It's going to return something for me. Yeah. So now if I call Abuja now, yeah, and Abuja is going to like return the tax for me. So I'll just use that the value that is being returned to just do anything I want to do. Okay, let's do something again. Yesterday we talked about parameters and arguments. Let's assume we are expecting a parameter here now, name. Yeah. So I can now say return my tax plus space, concatenate it, then my name. So anytime I want to call this function now, I will have to put an argument there. Name. So we can see that the pieces are coming together now. We've talked about function and parameters and arguments. Yeah. And if we look at this function now, we have a function, we put in a parameter, yeah. Then we are trying to like concatenate our name with it. So let's say Abuja, let's say this person is from Abuja. Let's say Lizzie is from Abuja. Sandra is from Lagos. And then Malik is from PH. So what are we expecting on the console now? The person's name plus the VAT that the person will be paying. You can see here now. So Abuja, Lizzie is from Abuja. She's going to be paying 12.5 as tax, then with her name. Then this person is from Lagos, the VAT, and with Sandra, PH, 18, and Malik. So these are the ways that you can like use your functions with parameter, with anything, with arguments and all. Yeah. So function will always want to return something. You can say that okay, you don't want to return anything, you just want to probably use this function to just change the color of a text or color or the size of a text. Yeah, it's fine. But by default, a function will always want to return something, so that when you call that function, you always get a value. Yeah. So they will say, okay, Malik, write a function that calculates the tax of every individual that will come to this company. Okay, I'll be like, okay, what and what do I need? I just want to like collect the person's location and the person's name. That's two things. So me, I've written my function that okay, if this person is from Lagos, use Lagos function. If this person is from Abuja, use Abuja function. If this person is from PH, use PH function. Then I will just collect the person's name and it's just going to like attach it. So that's it. So a function by default will always want to return something. So you can decide not to like return anything. Yeah. Decide not to return anything, but then a function by default will want to always return something. So the value that is being returned is like the answer that you get from a function. So hope we got that. The next one is pure function. So I just explained.
Sorry, I want to ask a question.
Okay. Go on, please.
So, like, can we say that return and console log they do the same work, but console log is just for us to see what is going on the this thing on the console,
No,
but
no, no. They are not doing
Okay.
this. They are not doing the same thing. Console.log is just to display anything we are seeing on the console. It doesn't like have effect on our code. We are just like, okay, this is the result of this and this, and I just want to like see it. I can decide that, okay, I don't want to. I want to stop using console.log. Okay, I want to change to alert. Alert. No longer using console.log again. Alert. Yeah. So if I should save this now on the screen, can we see Abuja?
yes.
So console.log is just basically for just to just see one or two things on the what's it called on the console. Yeah, like okay, you're doing one or two things and you just want to see how it's going to look like. But return keyword, return, you always see return in code base in functions. Yeah. For you we use it to like return something and say, okay, like probably I'm like done with this function. Okay, this is my final answer. Return this for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So console.log is just like to display something on browser, on a phone or something. Yeah. It doesn't alter any changes but return keyword, you always see this in a function. Okay, I've done this calculation, I've gone to this place, I've gone to that place, I've picked this value, I've gotten this value, I've calculated this, I've calculated that. So this is my final answer. So anywhere you call this function, this is the value I'm expecting. Yeah, so that's the work of the return keyword. So there are two different things.
All right. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So return key
Please, Malik, can we see can I rather see the results of these three consoles on the
on the
yes on
okay.
the console?
Can you see it?
Okay, so yes, I can see it. So why I asked for that is I want to confirm because the result of the names are coming out here because you added it to the console.log at the end.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because in this what's it called? You know we declared the function here, Abuja. Yesterday we talked about
Yes.
parameter and then argument. Yeah. So I gave
Okay.
it a parameter name that okay, whenever you are calling this function, you should put a name inside. Yeah, then I use that
Oh,
name now to now concatenate to our result here that will be returned. So whenever I call any of the function, I expect a name. So if I don't like put a name inside now, let's assume I just ignore that of Abuja now. It's going to show undefined. It's going to calculate the tax, then concatenate with undefined because we didn't put the person's name. Yeah, but we declared a parameter here that okay, we are expecting a name, but the person that is calling the function now didn't put a name, so it's going to be undefined. But if I should put a name, it's going to concatenate the person's name. Hope you got that. So
yes.
the next one is a pure function and impure function. So basically, what a pure function is, a pure function is a function. A pure function is a function in which if you pass in the same argument, you will always get the same result. Let me take that again. A pure function is a function in which if you pass in the same arguments at any point in time, you will always get the same results. So let's start with an example. And the opposite is for impure. Impure function is a function in which when you pass in the same arguments 100 times, you will get 100 different answers. Yeah. So let's start with an example. I hope you guys got this thing. A pure function will give you same results at any point in time if you pass in same argument. Yeah, why an impure function will give you different results at any point in time, even if the argument is the same. So yeah, so we get the gist now. A pure function will always give you the same results if you pass in the same argument 100 times. Like I'm calling a function and I give it an argument of 5. So if I continue calling the function, calling, it will always give me the same answer. So let's okay, const pure function equals to this. Yeah. So let me say we are giving it an argument of age. So what we want to do is want to return my age plus 10. Yeah. So that's what I want to do. So now I want to console.log so that we'll be able to see what the answer is. My age is, then let's say pure function, and I call the function. So let's see. So now what's my age? Let's assume I'm 15. So now what's this function doing for us? The function is basically returning my age, yeah, which is the argument I'm going to pass in, then plus 10. So we are expecting 25 on the console. Yeah. You can see my age is 25. Yeah, can we all see it? So if I should refresh this page now, if I should refresh it, you can see I'm refreshing now. I'm still calling the same function with the same. Can we see that my age is still 25? Are you guys with me?
Yes.
So
Yes, we are with you.
if I keep calling this function 100 times, the answer will always be 25. The answer will always be 25, except maybe when I now change this to 25 now, I'm now expecting 35. Yeah. So if I refresh this page now, it's still 35. If I refresh this page now, it's still 35. Then let's see that of impure function. Also, let me copy this, paste it here. Impure function. Let me now say my age. Don't want to use age here. Okay, age plus max dot random multiply by 10. Then
Sorry, sir,
You
please,
know.
I have a question.
Yeah, go on, please.
Please, this math.random, what does it do? What does it mean? Because I always
It's,
used to come across it.
it generates a random number between 0 and 1.
Oh, okay.
Math dot random. That's what it does. So basically what I'm trying to do here is I generate a random number. It might be 0.1, 0.5, 0.7, 0. Anything. Then I multiply it by 10. So to make it a bigger number, then I floor it just to wrap it down. Then I add it to my age. So now we are going to like,
What does math flow mean?
Sorry, sir, what does the that's what I wanted to ask.
so we have math.floor, math.seal, there are a lot of math function. Math in JavaScript. So math.floor will wrap down. Then math.seal will take it up. That's ceiling. Then we have absolute value. We have a lot of them. We have square root. We have math.pi to give you the value of pi. Yeah. We have dot square root. We have a lot of it. Dot round will round up. Dot C will take the value up. So it will round up the value to the nearest whole number by taking it up. The math.floor will round it up to the nearest whole number, but down. Yeah. And math.trunc to truncate, math.sign. Yeah. So we have a lot of them. So it's just like a mathematical method that you use in JavaScript. So like wrap up numbers. Take for instance now, you want to pay for tax, yeah, and after calculating the tax on your on your let's say the item you purchased, yeah. So our currency is just two decimal places, like 100 kobo makes 1 naira, yeah. But what if like after doing the calculation you now have like 5.78294321, yeah. But we are just supposed to like pick the first two, so you just want to like truncate the rest and wrap up this thing. So that's where the math dots floor seal comes in. So yeah, so now this impure function, now we can see the pure function takes in age as parameter. Then we are returning the age plus 10, yeah. But for the impure function, it's taking in age plus we generated a random number, multiply it by 10, then do the math dot floor. So we want to call the two now. So let's save. Let's call it. So we are calling it with the same value, right? The same age 20, age 20. But let's see our answer here. Can we see our answer? The first one, my age, pure function, my age from pure function, my age from pure function. So we can see. So here now, I have 32. The first one I have 35. The second one I have 32. Let me refresh this page. Can you see? The first one I still have 35. The second one I now have 33. Let me refresh again. The first one I still have 35. The second one I now have 31. Can you see that it's changing? The first one I have 35 and I have 34. So impure function will always be changing. Yeah, I have 35. I have 28. Pure function will not change irrespective of how many times you call it, in as much as the parameter that you put is not changing. It will always, the result will always remain the same. We are both calling them with 25. We didn't alter the code base again. We just left it that way. But you see that the value keeps changing. For the impure function, 35, 32, 35, 27, 35, 27, 35, 26. Can we see how impure and pure function work. So there are sometimes that you want to use pure function. There are sometimes that you want to use impure function. So it depends on the case study. So there are sometimes that you just want to leave the value to just be fixed. Yeah, you don't want it to change irrespective of what is happening. But there are sometimes that okay, you want the value to like move. Take for instance now, maybe in blockchain, we all know that the the price of Bitcoin is not always stable. It's very volatile. It's always going up and down, up and down. But let's say the government now want to be collecting VAT on the what's it called, on the amount of Bitcoin we are buying. So now, if the government now want to write a function now to get the value for the VAT, they should use a pure function, because for a very long time, you know that the VAT will not change. The VAT will just be declared as maybe like 7.5. So now, even if the value of Bitcoin is changing, the VAT is not changing. So you just want to like, okay, take VAT is 7.5, which is 0.075. Yeah, multiply it by the current price of Bitcoin as at that time. That is the VAT that you are going to pay. But now, for the Bitcoin price itself, is going to use an impure function, because at every point in time, the price is always changing. The price I have now will not be the price I will have tomorrow. In the next 30 seconds, it might not even be the same price. So by the time you are calling the price of Bitcoin every second, you're always getting different value. Yeah. But if you are calling the let's say the VAT that you pay on the Bitcoin, it's always going to be 7.5, except maybe when governments come tomorrow morning or next week and say, okay, we've increased the value of VAT. So you can just go to that particular place and say, okay, we've changed VAT to 7.5. And for that time, any value that you put in will always give you the same result, because the value of VAT is not changing. But for Bitcoin now, the price is always changing. So we can always make reference to Bitcoin as an impure function, because the value is always changing, and that of VAT to be a pure function, because the value is always stationary for a very long time. I hope we got that.
My question now is, what exactly is causing the value to change? Is it the math dot floor and the random that you included,
No,
or
it's math.random that is making the value to change,
okay,
because
okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's generating a random number at every point in time. I just use this as an example just for us to like get the concept of how impure functions work.
Okay,
Okay,
like
sir,
if
please, I
the
have
if
a
the math,
question.
oh, sorry.
Okay, yeah, go on, please.
Okay, please, can you just point out a particular use case of an impure function?
Okay, apart from this one, let me see. I just talked about Bitcoin now, but let me try and think of another one. Something that changes. Pi does not change. Okay. Let's say weather. We know that I don't know if you are going to like get this concept. You, are you familiar with longitude and latitude?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I think longitude is the one that is used for timing, right? That's GMT plus 1, GMT plus 2, GMT plus 3. Yeah. So we Nigeria now we are on GMT plus 1. Yeah. So
Yes.
that means most time Nigeria, France, that's Paris, and UK, we share GMT plus 1. Yeah, sometimes. Then sometimes they share I think GMT that they share with Ghana, and sometimes they share with Nigeria. So now we are not on the same latitude. Our weather is not the same. But if you call the function of GMT plus 1, yeah, when Nigeria is 7 a.m., you call that same function for UK, you get the same answer. For France, you get the same answer. Yeah. So that is going to work under pure function, because we are on the same latitude. But if you call that same, let's say we now write another function again to get weather now, our weather is not going to be the same. Although we are on the same latitude, but now we are on the same longitude, but now their own latitude have changed. So for everybody now, our latitude, yeah, will always determine that, okay, the what is it called? The weather is not always going to be the same. I don't know if this makes sense. Like we are going to pass in the same value, but we'll get different answers. Let me cite another example again. Oh, I don't know why geography is just coming to my head. But basically what I'm trying to say is that for every value that you put, even though you keep putting on the same value, there is this other thing that is making the value to change. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in pure function, if you keep putting the same argument, you always get the same value. Yeah, because there's nothing that is changing it, so the same value will always give you the same answer. Yeah, but for impure function, if you keep putting in the same value, it will keep changing because there's something that is changing it. Yeah, so it's not stable. Okay, let me try and Google it. Maybe we'll see more insightful example. Example of impure function. JavaScript alert log. I'm trying to like look for maybe a more reasonable that contains one or more side effects, must take data outside the local scope and does not produce. I want example. I don't know if this person stated an example. Pure function, no side effects. Okay, hey, yeah, this is a very good example. Date.now, very, very good example. We know that when we call, let me do date.now. Yeah, date is a JavaScript inbuilt function. Date.now. Okay, now this value we are seeing here now is the current date. Yeah, they've just formatted it in such a way. But let me call it again. You can do we notice that the value has changed?
Yes.
The reason do being the seconds that we were few seconds ago, we can't get that particular seconds again. Like when we started this class, we started around 5. Yeah, that's today is 5th, right? 5th October, then 5 p.m. On this earth that we have now, we can't get 5 p.m. on 5th of October 2022 again. It's past. Yeah. So now anytime I call this date dots now, we will always get a unique number. The reason do being that particular point in time has gone. We cannot get that time again. I don't know if you like understand what I'm trying to say. Like anytime you call this date function now, you will always get different what's it called, different value, because we've passed that particular point in time. We can no longer get it again. We can only make reference to it that, okay, yesterday 5 p.m. I saw so person, I saw so person, but you cannot replicate that time again. That time has gone. So now, if you have a what's it called, a function that's that does something like that, you will not get that that same distance. So I can just change this now to, let's say, date dot now.
Malik, sorry. Hello?
Hello, yeah, I can hear you.
That means that this impure function, we can use it to generate a serial number for a product or a
Yes,
client, right?
yes. That's one of the use cases that people use it for, because a random number will always be generated. Yeah. So that's take for instance a serial number, what's it called? ID, a unique IDE. You can always use timestamp like this to generate things like that. So basically on the back end, these are kind of things that we do to use to generate although there are packages that does that, and I know those packages probably would depend on something like this also. So yeah, thank you. That's also a use case in case you just want to use to generate a random number to just attach to an ID or something. Because for every time you generate it, you call the function, you always get a unique number. You can see 7396 1040 73508. So the probability of getting that particular what's it called, that particular number again, it's very, very slim. You might want to ask that, okay, what if I and then someone express the same button at the same time? Yeah, you might want to like make it unique. You might then now add, okay, you want to like concatenate the person's system address or the person's location address. Yeah, so even though if we are on the same location, the same, and we press the button the same time, our system, our MAC address can never be the same. Yeah, because MAC address are one of the unique numbers that we have in the world also. No two devices have the same MAC address. Yeah, so that's one of the use case of impure function. I hope the person that asked the question now, you can now relate to the, what's it called, to the example very well now. So now the next one is we've seen the use of pure and impure function. Then the next one is comparison. Yeah. So basically comparison is when you want to like compare one or two values together. Is this guy equals to this guy? Is this guy equals to this guy? Yeah. So I did something like that yesterday, but we've actually not really talked about it. Yeah. So let me comment out this. So let's talk about comparison. Okay. So we have strictly equals to and loose equal to. Yeah. So let's start with double equal to. So I can say let a equals 5, and then have I declared this before? So let's y equals 5. Let z equals 10. So there are sometimes that you want to like compare these two values and say, okay, is this guy equals to this guy? Now, if we want to like declare a value, we say y equals to 5. So now this value 5 now will now be stored inside y, and let's z equals to 10. So this value 10 now. But there are sometimes that you want to like check is z equals y. So the answer is going to be false because y is 5 and z is 10. So they are not the same. So this comparison now, I think I did something like that yesterday where I was trying to like compare if, okay, that if department is equals to double triple equals to science. So this is comparison. You are trying to like compare two values. Yeah. So there are multiple ways that you can do that. So the first one is this loose equal to, that's loose. So what this does is that, you know, JavaScript is a very is a loose language. Yeah, it's going to like trying to like help you convert. Let me console log so that will console.log answer. Then we'll now ask y equals Z. So we are trying to like compare them. Is y equals z. So the
Sorry, I can't
the
hear
first
you.
equal to that we are used to is this. Came into my line. Sorry, I had to like end it. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I said the first equal to that we are used to, this one is for assignment. Like you want to assign 5 to y. But now for comparison, we are starting with double equal to. So you want to say is y equals z. So if I use one y equals this now, I'll get an error. So because I'm trying to like no, I will not get an error per se, because I'm trying to like reassign z to y. No, that's not what we want. We want to do comparison. So it's y equals z. Are they the same? That's comparison. So let's go to the console. Let's see what the console is going to throw us. The console said false. Why? Because y is 5 and z is 10. So they are not the same. So if I should change this to 10 now, and I compare them again, I will get true. Yeah, because 10 is the same thing as 10. Y is the same thing as z. Yeah, but there are some situations that if I should put 1 here now and put true here now, can we see that we are getting true? 1 is a number, true is a boolean, but we are trying to like compare the two, and JavaScript is telling us that okay, yeah, they are the same. The reason why JavaScript converted it, and we discussed type coercion the last time, I think I dropped an article on it, that type JavaScript is a loose language. So it's going to like first of all assume that okay, this number that is a 1 now, probably you want to also convert this true to a number. And we know that in JavaScript or in programming generally, true is equals to the same thing as 1, and then false is the same thing as 0. So if you like try to equate these two together, so JavaScript will try to like help us convert true now to 1 and say, okay, 1 equals to 1. So basically, to JavaScript now, what JavaScript is going to try and do here is something like this: 1 equals 1, because JavaScript has helped us to convert true to 1. Yeah, but I don't want that. If I don't want JavaScript to help me and what's it called? We from the article I think they talked about implicit and explicit, when you have to like you want to do it yourself and JavaScript trying to like help you. But in this, there are some situations that you don't want JavaScript to help you. JavaScript, don't help me to convert this. Just give me what I ask you. Is 1 equals to true? Tell me true or false. So in that situation now, you want to use strictly. So if you're using double equal to, this is loose comparison. So JavaScript is trying to like help you to like what's it called? To like convert one of the item that you're comparing. But if you use 3 equals to, this is strict. JavaScript will not even will not even try to like help you to convert it. It will just leave it the way it is and be strict with it. So if I change from this, now we're having is 1 equals to true, and JavaScript is giving me true. Why? Because it's trying to like help me to convert it. But if I should use 3 now, let's see, it's going to return false, because it's not trying to like help me. So it's just going to like be strict with it. 1 equals to true? No, because 1 is a number, true is a boolean. Yeah. If I should do, let's say I do 0 here, it's going to return false, because 1 is not equals to 0. But let me use false here and change this to just single. This will return true, because it's going to like want to help us to convert one of them to false. So now the first one is false and the second one is 0. So it's going to like, okay, assume that, okay, we know that false in programming is 0. So let me help this guy and convert this to false. And is false equals to false, to now say true. But if I should use three strictly equal to now, that's the strict comparison, it's not going to help me. If false equals to 0, I will get false because they are two different data types. Yeah, so these are comparison, and we have another one again. This is equality. Equality. Then hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so the next one we are going to talk about is not equal. So the first one we talk about is equality. Okay, is this equal to this? So if I want to say, hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, so we can hear. Yeah, I can
Can
hear
you?
you.
You're breaking
Okay,
all
so the
along.
next one is yeah, a call came in. I have to like end this. Sorry. The next one is not equal. So I want to ask, okay, is Malik equals to this guy? Is this guy equals to this guy? What if I want to say, okay, that is exclamation mark and this? Yeah. So the exclamation mark is truncating. So this is how exclamation mark, and we can have something like answer to y not equal to z. How do you want me to comment out this now? When you're trying to know. So now we can see the, let me comment out this. So we can see the second one, answer 2 now. So we are asking, is y not equals to z? The, what's it called? The first one is false. The second one is 0. Yeah, it's giving us false because they are not the same. And if you want to make it strict also, you can put double. So if you want not in if anywhere you put exclamation mark like this in JavaScript, basically means not, like opposite. Yeah. So you'll be seeing that a lot. I don't know why in the hear me.
You
We
went
can
off
now.
a few seconds too.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. Calls just keep coming into my line. I probably will have to like switch to a Wi-Fi very soon because of this course.
Sorry,
So
why is the comment above the console log? Why is it showing red on your end?
yeah, it's the, what's it called? The exclamation mark that is truncating it. I don't know. Just ignore it. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, let me do. I'm coming. Let me do. Minutes. Let's just ignore it. So if you want to do not equal to, yeah, this is how you do that. Yeah. So the two of them have their own use case. There are sometimes that you want to like ask, okay, this value that is being passed in, is it equal to this? Is it the same thing as this? Is it the same thing as this? Yeah. And you're kind of like, okay, if it is the same thing as this, oh yeah, do this. If it's not the same thing as this, do this. So if you look at what what we did yesterday, I tried to like do something like that. So I check department. If department equals strictly equals to science, and name. So we've not talked about, and we are going to do that later. And name equals to Victoria, then do something. Yeah. So there's always use cases. So we have comparison, equality, then not equal. Yeah. So let me, this one is not equal. Yeah. So the next one we are going to be talking about is greater than or equal to. We have greater than or equal to also. Greater than or equal to. So we, from our equality inequality in mathematics, I think our basic mathematics, this all look the same. So the way to do that is this. Let me just combine the two together, and less than or equal to. So we have something like this. Let's assume we have, what's the value of, okay, let me declare another one so that we stop using these guys. Let's say let's m equals to 56. Let's k equals to 34. So now you want to like check now, is m greater than or equal to k, or is k less than or equal to m. So there are always use cases that probably you want to like you are designing an what is it called, a payment system, and there's a wallet address, and somebody is trying to like buy a shoe of 2,000 naira, and what the person has in his wallet address is maybe like 1,002. Yeah. So you want to like compare what the person has in his or her wallet address with what the person is trying to like buy. So if my wallet address is less than what the price of the item I'm trying to like purchase, it should throw an error or allow something that's okay, your wallet, the amount in your wallet address is too low, fund your wallet address, blah blah blah. So these are type of use case that you always see. So you want to do something like, let me do console.log so that we'll see the result. Console.log number is, so now I want to say m greater than or equal to k. So let's see what our console. So our m is 56 and our k is 34. So by just looking at it from our basic mathematics, we can just say, okay, m is 56 greater than or equal to k. So the answer should be true because 56 is greater than 34. So let's check the console. So number case, the answer is true because 56 is greater than 34. But let's change this to 100 now. 56 is not greater than 100, so we should be expecting false. Yeah, so we can see it here. So now the answer is false because 56 is not greater than 100. So we can also do less than or equal to. So is 56 less than or equal to 100? Yeah, the answer is going to be true because we all know that 56 is less than 100. So these are use cases. These are things that you will write in your code base. You want to like, okay, check the person's age. The person is calling this particular function with an argument, parameter, and all that. And you just fetch the person's age and check, okay, are you less than 18 or are you less than 12? If you are less than 12, I'm sorry, you can't write this exam. Yeah, you can't write WAEC because we can't ascertain that you've gone through primary school, nursery school, and junior class and secondary class, and you just want to like write WAEC. Yeah, something like that. So these are just use cases that okay, just fetch this thing is your age greater than this? Is your phone number greater than this? You can even use it for validations also. You want to like submit a form, and we know that our digits in Nigeria is always 11 digits. Yeah. So you want to like say, okay, get the person types is our phone number. You now get the length of that phone number, and it's now 10. You want to say, okay, the length of the phone number that the person type, is it greater than or equal to 11? So if it is greater than 11, you want to tell the person that, okay, you've made a mistake, it should be equal to 11 strictly. If it is less than 11, you want to tell the person that, okay, you've made a mistake, you can't have a length less than 10. So you want to do something like, let's say, I'm just formulating this now, m dot length. Okay, let me show a let number equals to 07056112123 bis 223344. Let me stringify this, because that's where we'll get a console.log accepted phone number. So we can say number dot length equals 11. So let's see what we are going to get. We can see it's false. Is it equals to 11? So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the person made a mistake. So I don't want to accept this. Oh, sorry. So the person made a mistake and typed 14 numbers. So definitely that number is not correct. So I want to short it to, how many is this? This is now 11. Yeah, so it's true. So if I put 10 numbers, so you can see that it's false now. So these are kind of like validation that you want to do, probably on phone number. I say, okay, you must enter your phone number, and the person does want to like do some dubious things and now enter phone number that is not correct, that is maybe greater than 11 or less than 11. So you've done your validation and say, okay, your number must be equal to 11, because in Nigeria we are using 11 digits number. So these are type of scenario that you want to like use it. So the next one we are going to talk about is logical and or. So we have and or also. I think from the scheme. So we've entered logical and operators now. We finished comparison, so we are going to logical and operators. So let's talk about and. I mentioned it yesterday, but I think it's going to like start making sense now. Yesterday I did something like department equals. We've talked about comparison, science, and so this is a logical operator. Yeah. So we have and or. So there are sometimes that you want to like compare a lot of things. Take for instance that I compared number now. So probably it's not only number that I want to compare. I want to compare age also. Then I want to compare the person's height. So probably I want to like compare three things now. So I want to have the person's number. Then I don't want to write another console.log again. I don't want to write another console.log for weight and then the person's age. So I can just say, okay, come here. Let me write it here first. And so this is the symbol. Double and like this. Then for or. Is this double straight line. Yeah, I hope if you check your keyboard, you are going to. So this is and this is all. So there are sometimes that you want to compare you want to compare a lot of things and make sure that, okay, this person has everything. So take for instance now, you want to say, okay, your phone number must be equal to 11, and you must and your age must be greater than 12, and your weight must not be less than this. Yeah. So this is, and you've taken like 3 credentials together. Say, okay, your phone number length must be equal to 11, your age, and your age must be greater than 13 or 12, and your weight must not be less than this. So if in any situation one of these 3 credential is missing, the what's it called, the code block is not going to like run. So let's set an example with let's say with a function. Let's say we have a function compare. Yeah, it takes in your phone number, yeah, your age, and the last one is your, let's say, height, GHT. So what we want to do is just to return, let's just concatenate everything. It's not something fancy. Number plus age plus height. So it's not something fanciful. So, but now, okay, before we return that, this is a very good. So we can have multiple return in a function, yeah, because we want to like do comparison now. We want to say if if um if number dot length is not equal to okay, let's do equal to, it's equals 11, and the age now, age greater than or equal to 13. So if the person is 12, will not accept. If the person is 11, will not accept. You must be greater than or equal to. So if you are 13 and above, we'll accept you into our academy. Then, and what's it called? Height, let's say 120 centimeter. Height greater than or equal to 120. Yeah. So in this situation, I want to do something. What are we going to do? We can just return this. Yeah. And we can, I've not talked about if and X. I think that's the next thing we're going to talk about after this. So just get the comparison aspects. Just leave out the if and X. We'll talk about it when we get there. So now the first block now, if I have a student that presented his our phone number and it's 11 digits long, yes, you've met up the first criteria. Then your age now, you're older than 13 or you are 13, fine. Then your height is 120, fine. Okay, what we want to do is return the person's number plus age plus height. But if the person is what does not meet up these criteria, even though if the person meet up 2 out of the 3, it will not still go, because we want 3, because that's what we use the and. That's the difference between and or. Yeah, for and the all criteria must be complete before we can accept that person. But for and for all, you can say, okay, if one is true, that's if the person meet up 1 out of the 3 criteria, they should allow the person. But we are still dealing with and now, so I can just say return a string that says let's say go and fulfill other criterias. Yeah, I get the spelling of criteria right? No. Okay, so let's now say, let's call this function console.log moment of truth. Yeah, so we'll call this my function compare. Then we pass in the phone number now. 07067288845. So that is not complete. Let's see if it's going to throw an error. Then the next one is age. Let's assume the person is 14, which is correct. Height 122, which is correct. So let's see what is going to display on our console. See moment of truth. Go and fulfill other criteria. The reason do being the number that we inserted is not complete. So if I should add the last digit now, let's say is 0, and click save again, we can see the thing concatenated the person's number plus the age and the height. Yeah. So now the comparison that we did here, all these three must be true. If not, it will not. So if I should like change this now to 12, the person will not be able to like go and fulfill other criteria because the person is less than 13. We want 13. So if you are 13 now, fine, your age is, but if your height now is now 119, which is not up to 120, it will not allow you to enter because your height is. So the three criteria must be fulfilled before you can like allow you to enter. So that is that for and. Then let's do for all. So for all now, if one of the criteria is okay, are you asking a question? Hello. Oh, okay. So let's assume.
I want to ask a question, sorry.
Okay, I go on.
Can we use return with alert?
Yes, you can. You can. It's an inbuilt JavaScript. So it's going to alert, it's just going to alert something instead of console logging it.
So that means this return, we can use it as a like, how would I put it to Jesus?
Basically, the return is just what you want the function to return for you. So don't worry yourself much about that. You can see,
Okay.
go and fulfill other criteria. That's it. You see that? So that's it. So if I put the correct one, save, it's not going to pass through the alerts. Why is it passing through the alerts? Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. I just save. Why is it going to the alert block? Should not go to the alert block again. If this okay, oh sorry, it's going to, because the person's height is lower than 120. So save. Can we see? We're going to concatenate everything. So if any of this now is wrong, like it's not meeting up this criteria, it will not enter here, it will just come here and trigger the alert. So the return, you can use it with anything, in as much as what you are using it with JavaScript is going to work. So there's no big deal about that. Yeah. So for this now, this is, so we can change all this to all and change this to all. And mind you, can pair all and together, it will all still work. You just have to like know how to write your logic very well. So I want to call this function. Let me console log out this moment of truth second. So yeah. So yeah, now we said if number.length equals 11 or age greater than or equal to this or height greater than, so if just one of them is true, yeah, it's going to allow the person to enter because we use all. So in terms of all must not be true. If all is true, fine. But if just one, what is just needed is just for one to be true. So now let's make everything, okay, like this now, everything is correct, right? So it will concatenate. You can see moment of truth second, then concatenated everything. Let me make this one to be wrong. Which one is coming? Let me Okay. Yes, second. So we can see it. Now the phone number is not complete. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So the phone number length is 10, but then it's still concatenating it. So it's entering here. That's because this one is wrong, but this one is right, and this one is right also. So if I should make this 10 now, we are still going to like enter the code block because the third one is right. We just need only one to be right. So if I make this wrong now, let me put 119. So that's when we now have okay, go and fulfill other criteria because none of these items are true. Yeah, but for all, if just one of the comparison, that's what you are trying to like compare, is right, it will just enter the block for you because you said this or this or this. Yeah, so if one of them is correct, it will always enter the color. So if I should make this one correct now, it will enter the code block. Yeah, this, because this now is correct, one of them is correct. So that's how all works. We don't have much time. The next one we are going to talk about is if statement. Tomorrow. Start from.
Sorry, can I quickly chip in something?
Yeah.
What if we want like two of the, is it parameters? Yes, if we want like two of the parameters to,
To be
like instead
correct.
of, yes, like we put and between the number, length, and age, and then we leave all for height. Is it
Yes.
going to like take two seriously than one?
Yes. So let's try it. And so now what this is going to do is now, so number, length, and age now must be correct. You get the gist now. Number, length, and age now must be correct because you said number, length, and age. So these two of them must be correct. So if one of them is wrong, we are going to go and fulfill other criteria. But if the two of them is right, yeah, and the last one is wrong, we are still going to return. It's going to concatenate everything together because we fulfill the and. You understand? So the and now must be fulfilled. The and must always be true for us to. So let's give it a try now. So we have number that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. The number is complete, but the age now is less than. So let's see what's going to like display. Can you see? Go and fulfill other criteria because the age is less than 13. So let's change the age to be 14. Save. You see that it's concatenated everything, but then height is still not, is less than 120 because we use all there. So we are strictly asking that, okay, the length of the number must be equal to 11 and the person's age must be greater or equal to 13. That has been fulfilled. So it doesn't really care about the last one because we use all. So even if it is there or it's not there, let's even remove it and see. In this case, now it's going to be undefined. And we see still concatenated because we are not really after it because we said or if it is not there, fine. If it is there, fine. But if I say I put undefined here and I'll put this to be 120, this now will not enter this concatenation block because undefined here is expecting a number, age is expecting a number. Oh, does it convert undefined to a number? It's not supposed to be. Okay, we didn't use strict. Okay. So this is loose. The reason why it entered is because it's loose. So if I make it strict now, it will not enter. So this is one of the greater than or equal to. So you don't want to make it. There's no strict this thing here. But it should not enter. Yeah. But it shouldn't. Let me see for this. But I think you get the concept of what I'm trying to say. So this now is supposed to be a number. Let me change this to null. JavaScript can be funny at times. Yeah, it's still entering. But what I'm trying to say is that, so for the and now, the two must be true for it to like enter. Then if the last one is, let me put a string and see what's going to happen. Yeah, JavaScript is just converting the values to number. So yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that for and now, everything must be true. Yeah, for you to like enter that code block. But for all, it mustn't all be true. Once one is true like this, it will just truncate, not truncate per se, but it will check. But if they are still false, it will still enter the block. So tomorrow we'll start from if state. Tomorrow is supposed to be, what's it called? Uh
Workshop.
Workshop, yeah. So and I said we are going to do. So I'm really sorry. The pace at which we are going, it might not be that fast, but the most important thing is let us get the concept. You know, when we started JavaScript, I said that 3-4 weeks is a little bit short for us to like do everything, and even the classes are not every day, just twice in a week here. But then we'll try as much as possible. Then maybe after the whole program, we'll fix some classes out of our own time just to like do some catch up. But the most important thing is that let's get what we'll be doing so far. Yeah. To me, I have this concept of it's not it's not about how far, it's about how well. Yeah. It doesn't make sense I come here now and I started dishing you guys with a lot of code base and you lost. You don't really understand what we are saying. It doesn't make sense. So it's better we talk about 2 or 3 topics, yeah, and we all understand the topic than talking about 10 topics and we don't really get the concept. Sure, we understand. So let's keep going gradually. Tomorrow we're supposed to have workshop this week for sure. Yeah. So we're supposed to have workshop tomorrow. Yeah, we've discussed the whole of this year. So tomorrow for the workshop, what I will do is I will look for a material that will cover this and drop it so you can just watch it on your own spare time. Then we'll discuss about this if statement tomorrow. So I'm very sorry. Tomorrow is supposed to be for workshop, but please let's use the first hour to discuss this conditional if statement. You've seen me using it, but let's discuss it a little bit here. So then the second hour we'll practice what we've done so far on function. So add a bit. So we'll like look up 1 or 2 challenges there. Yeah, I think this is my account. It's been a while I actually solve this, but it's always fun. Yeah, you think outside the box. So I think people should not copy all this answer. One of the question is your assignment for tomorrow. Okay, it was going to be released today. Yeah, but you guys should just go through it. So we'll do something like this. See how functions work, how you break down codes, and let me look for one small example.
Alec, please, can
Yeah.
you please explain that or and again? Please,
Okay, yeah.
just one more time,
Okay.
please.
So this is just create a function that does this, that does that. So by tomorrow we'll explain a little bit on this. So okay, yeah. So from the word itself, and or. So let me start with and. If I say okay, like I'm going to a party and the party is I have an invitation. A friend gave me an invitation card and he said it's +1. Yeah, I must come with somebody. That is a must. So and now, so when I get to the gate, they will not allow me in if we are not two, because they said Malik and so person. Probably I've submitted the person's name. I say Malik and so person. So if I should go there alone, they won't allow me to enter, because from the invitation card that I submitted, or from the invitation card that was given to me, I wrote somebody's name and provision have been made for 2 people. So when I get to the gate, they are expecting to see 2 people, Malik and anybody. Yeah, Malik and Oni together. So if I should go there alone, they won't allow me to. If Oni should go there alone, they won't allow her in, because they are expecting 2 people. That's and the 2 must conform together. The 2 conditions must be true. This person is Malik is there, Oni is there. Okay, you guys can enter. Yeah, but for all, I can say, okay, this is the invitation card. I might be available or not. Only might be available or not. So now, if two of us should go there, yeah, they will allow us enter because I said either I come or not, or Onyi will come or not, or we might both come. That is all. Or if one person should go there, they will allow the person in because we said, oh, either Malik or Onyi will be available. I don't know if you get the concept now. So, and now we always, if you compare and in three places, is we always want the three criteria to be fulfilled. Okay, A and B and C. Yeah. So if C is not available, the what's it called? The code base will not run because it's expecting the three to be true. Yeah. But in terms of or, we said A or B or C. So if I should see A, fine. If I should see B, fine. If I should see C, fine. If I should see the three of them, fine. If I should see just only A and B, fine. A or B, fine. Because I said it's either A or B or C. Yeah. So did you get the concept now?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically that's and or. So you can say and this A and B. So it's expecting to A or B is expecting either of the two. Yeah. So any other question before we wrap it up? So
That
tomorrow.
means it can be used for a street, like a street entering of maybe a form or all that, right?
Yes, for validations you can use that. Yes.
Mm.
So,
All right, thank you.
you can say that if this you have to fill a form now and the person left the place empty, you now say that okay, if this place is empty, alert the person that you must write your name, even though your name is A or your name is B or your name is BA, put it there. You must write something. So it's good
Okay,
with
all these
validations
forms that
also.
used to show red, you can use it
Yes,
for it.
exactly. So that is what they are using on the background. That okay, the value of this input now, I will fetch the value with my code base and check what did you write. I don't care about what you wrote. Yeah, but that form must not be an empty string. So I can now say if value equals empty string. This is the way I will write it. If I even want to make it strict, I'll just do it like this. I'll just say alert, you must write your name. So it's as simple as that. So with this now, you've done a validation on the form. Value must not be equals to. So immediately value. Now the person now say, okay, value equals to Malik. So here now, value is no longer an empty string. It will just go to the next block or do whatever it says you should do. So I hope you get the gist. So it's very good with validations. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So next question, please. So if we don't have any questions, so I know we are kind of like moving slow, but yeah, sometimes slow and steady does the job. Yeah. So gradually we'll get there. So tomorrow we'll use the first hour to discuss if, else if, and switch statements. Then the fun part is going to be the header bits. Yeah, let's get our system charged because I will not code. I'll just call anybody randomly. Then we'll what's it called? We'll solve some problem and header bits. I think I dropped the link on the Slack channel, so you can just like move around. I know the time is not, it's not like enough like that. Yeah, but then we have to like squeeze in sometimes, so we'll get over all this. Yeah, so it's time. So we are almost there. You know, I think a couple of weeks ago I said there will be a time that we'll look back and we'll be like, okay, yeah, we've gone this far. Yeah, this time, like this time last month or 2 months ago, some of you might probably don't know what JavaScript is or probably don't know what a function is. But now today, now ask yourself, if you kind of like walk up to some people now, maybe you are in a history and you heard people talking about a function, like you can like flow along with the gist because now you now know what a function is, you know what JavaScript is, you know what HTML is. Yeah, so that's how it is. By January next year, now you have to like look back and say, okay, yeah, I can do this, I can do that. So with time, yeah, we are going to like go far. So in apps, in if there's no
Sorry.
any other, yeah,
Sorry, I just want to wish you happy Teachers Day. That's all. I don't have a
It's today Teachers Day.
Yeah, happy Teachers Day. No, we
Okay,
use mentor. Happy
that's
Mentor's Day.
that's great. That's lovely. Okay,
Please, can you
let me
drop your
drop
Twitter handle?
let me drop the
I will tag you on Twitter to wishing you happy Teachers Day. So just be ready.
all right, no wala. I'll retweet it. Thank you very much. Polygon, yeah.
Please
So
drop your Twitter handle.
I will send you guys. I've sent it. So you guys, this is my Twitter handle. My link. Okay. Please, you can always tag Isiak also. I think somebody did that.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I'm the one.
Yeah. I can't remember that. Okay, let me confirm. Let me quickly confirm it on my phone. So let me stop the recording so that we don't include this in the recording. So hope we don't have any other question again. So tomorrow, get our system charged. It's going to be fun also, so that we'll continue from where we stop. So tomorrow, 2 hours.